Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nia from class 8E and now I want to present my book report called Peter Pan. Mm. So, Peter Pan book is made in 1911 by the author called John Matthew Barrie. He's a novelist and playwright from Scotland. He was famous because of he made a character called Peter Pan. So this is the summary of the story. The first is Peter Pan, the main character, is a boy who can fly and never grows up in his entire life. One day he going to Darling Nursery and met three siblings from them called Wendy, John, and Michael. He suddenly become a friends with them. He start to tell about him like where do he live and who are his friends. Wendy, John, and Michael is so excited about where Peter's live and they want to go there. So Peter decided to teach them to fly, and after that they go to the Neverland. They meet many fictional characters in there. One day in Neverland, they go to a pirate ship. In the pirate ship, there's the main story of this. In pirate ship, there is Captain Hook. Captain Hook is the main villain of this. Captain Hook really hates Peter because previous day Peter were fight with him and he he cut Captain Hook's hand. And the next is settings. The first settings is Darling's nursery. Darling nursery is where Wendy, John, and Michael live. It's also where they met Peter Pan for the first time. Next is Neverland. Neverland is the mythical faraway place where Peter lived. There's so many imaginary things in there. And the last is Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship is the main place where Peter and Captain Hooks fight. This is so much fighting in this place. Next is characterization. The first character is Peter Pan. Peter Pan is a young boy who can fly and never grows up in his entire life. He is a cheerful, forgetful, and adventurous boy. Next is Wendy. Wendy is Miss Darling's first child. She is a cute girl. She is very imaginative, talkative, and adventurous. She also likes to dream and telling story. Next is John. John is Wendy's siblings. He is brave, clever, and playful. He is really interested in piracy, so when they go to Neverland, he's one of the most excited people. Next is Michael. Michael is Wendy and John's brother. He is clumsy, playful, and observant. He is also interested in piracy, so when go to Neverland, he is very excited. And the last is Captain Hook. This is the main villain in this story. He bring the Jolly Roger. He is very arrogant and revengeful. So the theme of this book is adventure and fantasy. Why adventure? Because in this book is about Peter Pan, Wendy, John, and Michael adventuring the Neverland. And fantasy because of there's so many mythical things in the Neverland. Next is moral value. The first is don't be afraid to try new things. At the beginning of the story, Wendy, John, and Michael is kind of scared for try to fly. Next is think positively. When Peter teach Wendy, John, and Michael to fly, he said think positive is same as having wings. So in this story, if you think positive, you will having a wings. Next is everybody must grow up sometimes. As you know that Peter Pan is a young boy who never grows up, so he doesn't want to grow up, and he invite Wendy, John, and Michael to not grow up either. Like the last is let your imagination fly. So everyone is free to imagine something. And there's an ayat in Quran called Al-Baqarah 216. It may be you that you hate something even though it's very good for you. And it may be also that you like something even though it is very bad for you. Allah knows while you don't know. The last is conclusion. So the conclusion of this book is my favorite adventure story. The story is fun, not boring at all. The author did a very great job in this story. Next is we can take many lessons from this story. As I talked before this, there are so many lessons that we can get from this story. And the last is I recommend this book to every ages. Actually, this is a kid story, but it's also fun. It's not boring at all. So, any age can read this. Okay, so thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.